In Transylvania, there is a legend that has become a symbol of terror throughout the world. In the dead of night, an evil transformation takes place within the castle of Count Dracula. After he rises from his coffin, he turns into a giant bat and flies through the night, seeking blood from the throats of his victims. A vampire of death.
They're easy pickings at the discotheque. I'll leave them feeling like they've been in a wreck. You know they wake up all wasted and they never ever check those two small holes that are leaving their neck. I'm gonna wait for you on Saturday night. I'm gonna give your neck a great big bite. You try and find me in the mirror and I'm nowhere inside. When you wake up Sunday you will look a terrible fright. And when the medical team arrive on the scene and diagnose will bitch you, everybody will scream. Tracks back. I wanna suck your Tracks back. I wanna suck your Now here's a tip if you're out chasing me. I close the clubs because my drinks are all free. And when the sun is done, and that's when I have to flee. You can catch me at my coffin by 5:23. Now if you were smart and feeling up to the part, you best can look and with the stake through my heart. Cause Drax back. I wanna suck your Drax back. I wanna suck your Well, if they were wise, they would soon realize they're not hungover, they're just vampire rats. Cause Drax back. I wanna suck your Drax back. I wanna suck your I went in New York City once to make my mark. I checked in the Waldorf in the name of Con Sharp. I used to prowl at City when it was dark. One night someone mugged me out in Central Park. Now I've had to go away for many's a day. But I'm such a nifty healer that I'm still here to say Drax back. I wanna suck your Drax back. I wanna suck your Drax back. I wanna suck your Drax back. Drax back. Drax back. Drax back. Drax back. Drax back. Drax back.
Yes. Yes, I like it.
You see, I told you. This place is absolutely ideal for you.
Yes. Well, it's just for a few months while we're shooting the picture. Of course, the main advantage is that it's less than an hour's drive from the studio. Does seem quite comfortable.
Before you decide...
I've already decided. But to take it.
Oh. In that case, I feel it's only fair to warn you.
Warn me?
The former tenants. There were, tragedies.
Are you trying to tell me that this house is haunted?
Not exactly.
What a pity. I would have liked a ghost. You see, it isn't that I just star in horror pictures. I'm an expert on the whole subject. Ghosts, vampires, werewolves, witches, demons. In fact, there's very little that I don't know on the subject of the supernatural, Mr.
Stoker.
Stoker?
That's true. This is the third film Mr. Henderson and I will have made together, and I know him pretty well by now. At heart, he is pure Gothic. You know, Paul, sometimes I think you'd feel more at home in some medieval castle.
Yes. Yes, that's right. A castle.
You approve, Mr. Henderson?
Yes. Oh, yes, Mr. Petheridge. I approve of this. But hardly of that.
Call sheet for tomorrow, Mr. Henderson.
Any similarity between this model and that set is purely coincidental.
It's all we could afford on the budget.
Paul, I'm so sorry. Everything all right, I hope?
No. Everything is not all right. As long as you and your art director here insist on my acting in this rabbit hutch.
What's wrong?
Tell me, Mr. Talmadge, since leaving the depressing confines of television, how many films have you made?
Well, actually, this is my second.
But your first horror film. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Talmadge, I have made hundreds of them. Hundreds. Oh, my God. And if I go on working for this company, I shall finish up looking like him. Look at the scenery. Look at it. Look. So flimsy you could blow peas through it.
Please, Mr. Henderson, it's been freshly painted.
That's what's wrong with your present-day horror films. There's no realism. Not like the old ones, no. The great ones. Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, Dracula. The one with Bela Lugosi, of course, not this new fella. They didn't have freshly painted scenery.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll like your vampire costume. Rita, would you please bring over the cloak for Mr. Henderson?
Who did this belong to? The Flying Nun?
It looks perfectly all right to me.
My dear fellow, it's too new. It's not sinister enough. Look, I want a wardrobe that looks as though it had been lived in. Or died in.
Well, what do you expect us to do, rob a graveyard?
Take this schmutter away, madam, and use it for draperies.
But we're scheduled to start shooting tomorrow. We haven't time to find anything else.
But it looks as though I shall have to find something for myself, doesn't it?
Mr. Henderson!
Wardrobe mistresses, ineffectual art directors, no-budget pictures. Curse of the bloodsuckers. Come.
Your call sheet for tomorrow, Mr. Henderson.
By the way, somebody left this card on my dressing room mirror. Any idea who it was?
Not at all, Mr. Henderson.
Right, thank you. Hello? Is anybody here? Shop?
May I be of some assistance?
You are...
Yes. I am von Hartmann. You are a celebrant?
I beg your pardon? Oh, I see what you mean. No. Of course, I have performed the Black Mass on many occasions.
Ah?
In my films, you understand. My name is Henderson. Paul Henderson. The film actor.
I'm afraid, sir, I do not patronize the cinema.
Oh. Yes, well, I'm looking for a cloak.
A cloak?
Yes, a long black cloak, something old and worn. The sort of thing that might have been used by a Transylvanian vampire.
A vampire's cloak?
Yes, I was hoping to find something that looked authentic. It's so important, don't you think?
I think I may be able to help you, sir. I think this may well be what you require, sir. Try it on.
It's funny, I felt a sort of chill.
Yes, it's been a long time down below. It's very cold up there.
Yes. How much are you asking for it?
Shall we say 13 shillings?
It's an odd sum. 13 shillings a week.
No, my dear sir, 13 shillings and it's yours. For life.
Well, that seems very reasonable. 10, 11, 12, 13.
I shall soon be closing this establishment. I only hope you put the cloak to its proper use.
My dear Mr. von Hartmann, in my films, there is nothing improper.
Shall I put it in a bag?
Thank you, no. No, I'll take it over my arm. My car is just outside. Good day, sir, and thank you.
Thank you. Now I shall be able to rest in peace.
Come.
Ready in 2 minutes, Mr. Henderson.
Right, thank you. Come.
We're ready for you now, sir.
Right, thank you.
I'll bring the cloak for you, sir.
Yes, thank you. We'll come into close-up halfway through the scene and cut just after you kiss her. Then make up and put in your fangs for the next shot, and we'll come in from the other angle as you raise your head. Look, I have done this sort of thing before, you know. Yes, well, I think we'll try a take.
Killer house light. Now, quiet, please. Quiet. Turn over.
Speed. Mark it. 27, take 1.
Action.
Must you really go?
What? But it's almost midnight.
I'm not afraid.
Even though your father believes that in my family there runs a thirst for blood.
You mustn't take him seriously. He still believes in the old superstitions of our land.
That at the stroke of 12, the vampire must feast. But do you believe it?
I only know that I love you. Goodbye, my dearest.
Cut! Okay?
Okay.
Okay, son.
One fell down.
Right. Paul!
Paul! Oh! Oh! You beast! You bit me! Oh!
Paul, that's a very splendid performance, but you really don't have to get quite so carried away.
You know I'm vegetarian. Morning, Mr. Henderson.
Morning. What scenes are we doing today?
24, 35, 53, and 89.
None with a cloak.
No, sir.
Thank God. Has Miss Lind arrived yet?
Yes, sir. She's over there.
Carla, I really must apologize for what happened yesterday. I don't know what came over me. I've been playing vampires for years, but I've never actually bitten anybody before.
Then why start on me?
Carla, please. Am I forgiven?
All right, Paul. But it will cost you a dinner.
Then back to my cottage afterwards for champagne.
If you promise I'll be safe with you.
Safe as houses.
Thank you for a lovely dinner, Paul.
My dear Carla, what's the least I could do under the circumstances? Let me recharge your glass.
Thank you.
It's rather good, don't you think?
No,
Oh.
doesn't do you justice.
Good heavens.
What is it?
Listen to this. Fire destroys costumery shop. The salvage authorities investigating the cause of the fire are puzzled by the discovery of a coffin buried in the earth of the cellar beneath the shop containing the body of an elderly man. Although dead for years, the body was quite well preserved and death appeared to be from natural causes. It's von Hartmann.
Who?
The man from whom I bought my cloak. He said he was closing the place and was glad to find someone to give it to. Well, that someone was me.
What are you talking about?
I'll show you what I'm talking about. This. I asked for something authentic. Well, don't you see, this is authentic. That old man was a vampire. And this was his cloak. He had to pass it on to someone before he could die. It carries his spirit and transfers his bloodlust to whoever wears it. I know about these things. I've read all about them. That's why I bit you last night, and that's why I... Excuse me.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to burn it.
Oh, surely you don't. Oh, look, it's only an old cloak.
Every time I wear this, I'll turn into a vampire.
Oh, nonsense. Put it on. Prove to yourself that...
No. Look at the time. It's nearly midnight, the witching hour. There's no telling what might happen.
Paul, I think you are afraid.
Me? Afraid? Nonsense.
Prove to yourself that it's only a silly superstition. Come on, put it on.
Very well. But I must say I'm not over keen on the idea.
You see? Nothing happened.
I can't understand it. Wait a minute. This isn't my cloak.
No. This one is.
Carla, no. No. No, Carla. Carla, don't put that on. You'll turn into a vampire. Carla. Carla, please.
We loved your film so much, we wanted you to become one of us forever. Welcome to the club.
Carla! Carla! Don't be ridiculous. Carla, this is going too far. Carla! Carla! Carla!
France, 1888. Justine Lafayette and Martin de Millard marry, and the countryside is ravaged with an outbreak of cannibalism and vampirism.
Martin du Millard is a young man, handsome and devil-may-care.
Justine is a huge slab of a woman, prone to use drugs and revel in all forms of excess. Justine, as grotesque a creature that you would hope to find, could never in her wildest dreams expect young Martin to marry her. Martin is the rake of the town, and although he's shunned by wily parents, he's the apple of the eye of many of the young maidens. The story unfolds in this way. Justine, fat, ugly, mustachioed woman that she is, drugs young Martin and introduces him to the arts of the occult, black masses, fetishism, all the things she delights in. Unfortunately for the young man, his mind is not capable of withstanding the assault of Justine, aided by the continued use of drugs, and he snaps. Somewhere, deep in his mind, is a desire for flesh and blood. He makes his first kill. A 15-year-old girl behind a warehouse slits her throat and drinks. The body is discovered drained of life's fluid, and neat, precise cuts taken from the arms and legs. Now, a rain of terror falls over the quiet French town that reduces the streets to echo carriers after nightfall. For the next 5 years, Martin would strike more than 80 times. Each time, the same discovery. The blood drained, the flesh cut away. Finally, they are caught. Justine had waxed even fatter on her unusual diet, and Martin was a slobbering animal, devoid of any sense, any at all, a vegetable. Martin was in a very real sense a vampire. A human, as opposed to the dictionary definition type of being risen from the grave, to be sure, but nevertheless, a vampire.
Now, Manfred, you must hurry, or you'll miss the 5:30 from Oxford Circus.
Oh, yes. Quite right, my dear.
Your business is so messy. I shouldn't like to think of you being mistaken for a butcher.
Daddy, I wish you could play with me during the day.
Oh, I work during the night. I must get my sleep.
Are you a waiter?
Oh, no, my son, I am not a waiter. But I suppose I do have something to do with the food trade.
What do you do?
I lighten the burden of those who have too much and receive certain nutritional benefits in return. A nip and a suck, and they never feel a thing. Feed without greed. That has always been my slogan. The rush hour trains and the after-theater crowds provide a rich harvest for someone who knows his business. But I must always be on the lookout for the beanie, the B-squad. Beware of men carrying violin cases.
I do not think, dear, there is any need to reveal the problems of your profession.
You are right, dear.
A gentleman does not mix his business and home life. Sufficient for Linton to know that he has an unusual father.
Who loves his family very much. itself.
The shrimp. The thing. The weed. Bet you can't do that. Of course he can't. Coward. Weed. Isn't he pale? Sickening. You daren't do that. Cry, baby. Weed.
Mustn't worry about those horrid children teasing you. You see, you must remember that you are better than they are. Back in the old country, where we came from, your father was a nobleman. He's a count. Which means, of course, that I am a countess. Well, then you must be a viscount.
What did you say? I said I'm a Viscount. My lord. Your Grace. You thing. Weed.
Children, what's going on here? Oh, come on. I'll walk home with you and see that they don't harm you. Merciful heavens, why not?
My mother told me never to speak to strangers.
But I'm not a stranger. I'm a clergyman. Would you like a caramel?
No, thank you. I can't let anyone come to my home.
Why not?
I don't know.
There must be a reason.
I think my father escaped from somewhere in the middle of Europe. Perhaps he's hiding.
Why were those limbs of Satan so angry with you?
I said I was a Viscount.
Is your father a nobleman?
I hardly see my father. He sleeps all day and goes out at night.
Where does he sleep?
Downstairs. I've never been there.
Why don't you go down there one day? He might wake up early and play with you. Wait till your mother goes out, then she needn't know.
I'm just going to the shops, Linton. Now you remember not to let anyone in while I'm away.
I'll remember.
take us to your
Leave
father.
me alone!
Where is your father? Come on!
Who are you? What do you want?
We are the B Squad, Sonny. The Bleeny. Special branch concerned with blood crimes. We have sworn to eradicate the curse of vampirism from this land.
Sir, it is getting dark.
The boy said his father slept downstairs. Look for a cellar. Your father has been the most difficult case of my career. I've hunted him for months. He's been clever. Very clever. But now I've got him.
Sir!
No, you can't go down there, you can't!
Take him down!
He should witness the end.
Don't just stand there. Get an ambulance.
You'll need more than an ambulance. My husband didn't just take a trickle of refreshment. He bit deep. Do you know what that means? You are one of his kind now. You will have to be staked by your own men.
She's right, sir. The virus is in you. Come moonlight, you'll be on the rampage. We'll have to do our duty, sir.
You can't mean that, Sergeant. You are talking to Pickering, a departmental legend, head of the Bleeny. Why, I've staked over 2,000 vamps. You can't mean...
Sir, you wouldn't want us chasing you through the underground, sir? Wouldn't be respectful, sir. Now then, if you could just see your way to laying out nice and flat-like, we'll have the old doings through your ticker in a jiffy. Where would you be most comfortable, sir?
Now!
Watson. Stretcher. is a good thing. I always wear a stick-proof vest filled with tomato ketchup. Go. The one thing you must learn in life, my darlings, is cannot be too careful. Oh, what a happy family.
Of human blood.
Is he really a human vampire? Is he really a ghoul? His friends are rats and vampire bats, and the sight of your throat makes him drool.
Perforated hickeys cause a deadly rash.
Who has his own branch office of the blood bank,
where you deposit blood instead of cash.
He's been waiting for someone tasty, so he'll sharpen his bang. He's an unwanted guest and a terrible pest.
And I'm planning to suck out your veins.
And now a few words about vampires. Usually they live in Central Europe. Some people say they only leave their coffins at night, and they cannot see themselves in mirrors. Some people deny all these things. But everyone agrees on one thing. They live on blood. This, then, from a novel by Ivan Tolstoy, is the story of the Verdalacs, vampires who live only on the blood of those they love.
Where did you find that dagger?
Do you always give strangers in this house such a warm welcome?
Who are you?
Count Vladimir Dufay, on my way to Yossi.
That dagger. It's my father's. Give it to me.
Here.
You found it nearby?
Come, I'll show you. There was a body on that horse there.
If you killed this bandit, may God reward you for it.
It's Alibek.
It has to be. No one else in the whole region wears clothes like this.
Who was this Alibek?
A Turkish bandit, Count. Terrible. He's cut the throat of many a man.
They say he was a Vertalac.
When he found him, he had this in his back.
Oh, thank you.
Last week he killed our fourth shepherd. Father got so angered he decided not to stay quiet any longer. He'd put an end to Alibek. He would go after him.
My brother and I insisted on going with him, naturally, but he wouldn't let us. A stubborn man. He never lets anyone question his decisions.
Oh, thank you. What is your name?
Zdenya.
It's a strange name. I don't think I've ever heard it before. Well, at any rate, your father found Alibek and did put a finish to it. I think we should drink to that.
Yes. Alibek is dead. Now, we only have our father to fear.
I don't understand. Alibek is dead. Your fears are over. You should all be happy. Shh.
If he is not returned within an hour, it'll be better for you to leave this house. To remain here, even for one night, could be fatal for you.
Why didn't you take my brother's advice?
Oh, you could say because I was too tired to travel on tonight. Or your brother's remark made me curious. But that wouldn't be true. The real reason is because I met you.
You were very kind, my lord. But if my father should return after 10 o'clock, it'd be unpleasant for you, my lord. I beg of you, please go.
What your father does every night after 10 o'clock must be very interesting. To terrorize an entire household like this.
Please, you mustn't joke about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
The situation's extremely grave.
Can you tell me what it is? Miss Daniel, please, I would like to help you. Confide in me.
My father said before he went away, I'll be back within 5 days. If, however, I should return after the 5th day, you must not let me in. You must kill me and drive a lance through my heart. Because by then I shall have become a Vertilac.
Vertilac? I've already heard your brother use that word, but I don't understand what it means.
Even if anyone pronounces the word, something in us trembles in terrible horror. A Vertilac is a corpse. It's a cadaver always seeking blood, the blood of the living. So now you know, my lord.
And when do the 5 days end?
10 o'clock. If it's only 1 second after, it's too late.
Look, Gregor, it's him. No. Wait. How do we know whether 5 days have ended or not? 10 o'clock has already struck.
God help us.
How can we be sure?
Why don't you move to meet me? I'm wounded. Why don't you say something? Huh. 5 days spent in the mountains changed me so much. Even my own dog doesn't know me.
Did you hear? He admits that 5 days are past.
Show me your wound. I'll bind it up.
Go away. You hurt me.
Then you have been wounded in the heart?
I am hungry. Are you going to stay here long?
No, tonight only. I have to be off to Yassi.
Ah, then tell everyone you meet that the bandit Ali Bek was killed by old Gorka.
Indeed, I will.
A great feat, Father. Tell us how you did it.
He's dead. That's all there is to it. There's nothing to tell. What is that?
Roast lamb.
Rubbish! I'm not hungry.
The cold that is freezing my bones is choking me. Tell that damn dog to stop his howling. I told you to shut him up. Do I give an order twice? Do as I say.
But it's your favorite dog.
Kill him. Kill him. What's the matter, woman? Can't I fondle my own grandson? Give him to me.
Father, it's late. The boy is sleepy.
Give grandfather a big kiss.
You know, sir, it was I who found the body of Alibek.
How can you be sure that it was really Alibek?
Of course it was, Father. His clothes, his jewels, and also your dagger.
My dagger? You think my dagger and a headless corpse are proof enough? Right now, in this district, people will believe that he is alive and be ready to tremble with fear again. I and I alone have the proof that Alibek is dead. And here it is.
That's why the dog was howling. He can smell the dead man's head.
Hang it on the door of the house for all to see.
Now, don't worry. Go to sleep. You too, Miss Napier. Go to bed. I will stand guard for him.
It's not necessary. I'm sure he's only wounded.
I'm not so sure. You saw, didn't you? He refused to eat anything.
Let Peter stand guard. It's been too many nights now that you haven't slept.
She's right. You stay with him. I'll be quiet going to bed.
person for you.
Wake up! Cook got the boy! Gregor! Peter! Peter!
Stenya? I'm sorry if I frightened you.
You're going. What will happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Peter is dead. Yvonne is gone. My father. It's like a nightmare. A terrible nightmare. I want to wake up. And I can't. I can't.
Stenya, listen to me. As long as you remain in this house, your nightmare will never end. Stenya, come away with me. Escape with me.
No. I can't.
Don't you understand that it's crazy to stay here? To live in terror and die inside. You mustn't destroy yourself like this. Stenya, come away with me now.
I have no alternative.
Yes, you have. You have the alternative of being free, of being happy. Of falling in love.
Love. Happiness. They're not for me anymore.
Oh, no. You've only got to want them, Stenya. We've only got to want them together because I love you. Perhaps when you're away from here, from this nightmare, you could also love me.
Come, Maria. Come away now. No! No! For pity's sake, run me through instead!
It must be done for his soul's peace. I did it for Peter, too.
No, not to him. If you do it, I will kill myself.
the matter?
Nothing. It's the wind. Don't listen. For the love of God, don't listen to it.
It's my child. Can't you hear? He's cold.
Please, Maria, don't. You buried him. Can't you understand? You buried him yourself. He's dead, Maria.
Let me go to him. Let me go. He needs me. He's cold.
But that's not your child out there. It's the Verderlac.
I don't care. I don't care. Let me go.
Spend the night here. At daybreak, we'll go on to Yassi. Steady, be careful. I think we'll be safe in here. I think I found a bed for you. It may not be the most comfortable you've ever had, but it will serve you very well. Stenya, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Stenya, listen to me. What's happened, happened, and now you must forget it. You can't go on like this, or you'll be running away from yourself forever.
Oh, Vladimir. Please. Don't you understand?
Only thing I understand is that I love you. And if you let this thing hang over your head, you'll ruin your life. And mine.
No. No. Please.
Stanya, forgive me. Don't cry. Stanya.
Oh.
Why did you leave us?
I beg you. Where are you? I beg you. I beg you, have pity on me. I can't help it, Father. You don't know how much it pains me. But I had to leave. He loves me.
No one can love you as much as we do. You know that. You mustn't be afraid of anything. Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us?
Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us?
Why?
Stenya! Stenya!
Stenya.
I wanted to be yours. I love you. I wanted to be yours, and I couldn't.
But why did you leave me? Why did you come back here?
They knew we were going to Yassi. I know them. They would have killed you. Forget this. Forget everything and escape. I'll remain here from now on.
Escape? No. No. I would rather die than lose you.
Oh, embrace me, Vladimir. I want you, my dearest, forever. Embrace me and blend your kisses with mine. Kiss me now. Embrace me. Embrace me. Kiss me.
The mountains heaved in agony. A winter storm in the Transylvanian Alps raged more intense and furious with each passing moment. This winter would be harsh indeed for these long-weathered mountains, but they would survive. Yes, the Alps would survive, but will a very lost Dracula and Rachel Van Helsing survive as well? Power Records presents Terror in the Snow.
I can hardly see. Please rest. Please, I'm about to collapse.
We move on, Van Helsing. To stay here would mean the death of both of us.
Then I won't go on any further. I don't care if I die, if I take you along with me.
You will move, woman. You have no choice. What?
Sid, I'm falling.
No, you shall not be so lucky to fall to your death. Not while I need you more alive. For almost 20 years I have sought to slay you, to add your name to my ever-growing legions. And now I must prevent your death at all costs. But for the moment at least, I must be your savior. So now, my lifelong huntress, we move on. And though it aches us both, we must cooperate. Our survival depends on it.
On they trek aimlessly through the endless blizzard until they find a cave.
I have prepared the fire for you, Van Helsing. Rest by it quietly. Your hurts will soon pass.
Will the broken bones heal themselves too, Dracula?
I provide you warmth, comfort, and shortly food. What else could you want?
What I've sought for all these years, Dracula. Your final and everlasting death. I owe you for the countless horrors you've committed against me, to my family, to the world. And even if I must forfeit my own life, I'll see the day that you're long dead and buried.
Hardly, my dear. You can barely stand on that foot, let alone fight me. No, I'd say for now, you will simply do as I command. I see your dinner has finally arrived, my dear. Pardon me, please, while I tend to it. Remain where you are, great goat. Tonight you will fill the stomachs of 2 hungry souls.
The giant mountain goat merely nods its wide-horned head and waits. As death descends madly upon it, it tries to shake loose its attacker, but it fails.
The taste is bitter and wretched, yet still I feel strength again flow through my bones. I protect the one I have ever sought to slay. I feed upon the blood of an impure beast. Yes, since the crash, much has been changed. Too much. And all because Van Helsing found the second book of sin. I remember how we fought for possession of the book. Those ancient scrolls inscribed with a spell to utterly destroy all vampires, including myself. But as we struggled, Rachel Van Helsing grasped the crumbling pages and made her escape. I instantly knew the dangers to me and my legions if she could translate the symbols and spells, and so I followed her. Her helicopter rose quickly through the Transylvanian winter countryside. I caught onto the machine's lower railings, and I thrust myself into the cabin.
Dracula! Don't know how you got in here, but you're not staying. If that book is so important to you, there's no way I'm going to let you get it.
Woman, you are a fool! What makes you believe you can keep possession of anything I desire? But we shall discuss the papers in a moment, after I rid us of some unneeded baggage.
What are you doing? Stay away from me! Stay away!
You killed him without even a moment's care. You're a monster, an inhuman monster.
His life is unimportant.
Then you're in for a rude awakening, Dracula. He was the pilot, and I haven't the slightest notion on how to fly this. And something tells me neither do you. You're already miles off course, heading into the Transylvanian Alps.
I can see that, Van Helsing. Yes, already there is snow and ice. We must turn back.
And how are we going to accomplish that, Dracula? As I told you, I'm not a pilot.
Then we shall simply crash. And though I shall survive, my dear, I doubt if you will. Brace yourself, woman, and we shall see if the fates are kind to you this night. As the giant helicopter smashed into a great white peak, which suddenly jutted before it. I live, as always before. I survive where others perish. But the book, the cause of all this madness, it little matters now in this desolate wilderness.
We are so far from civilization that none shall ever find this. Van Helsing awakens. Good.
My leg. I can't move. I think it's broken.
That will not do on the long journey before us. You will need a bandage.
No! Leave it alone! You're hurting it.
Silence, woman. Until this heals, you'll have to live with pain, which may keep your mind off attacking me for a while. Now, come with me. If we are to reach other humans, we must begin.
Why are you doing this for me? Why don't you just take my blood and be done with it? You've wanted me dead for years.
I still do, my dear. But common sense tells me not to give in to my lusts. If I were to take your blood now, I may not find any for days. You are being kept alive as an emergency measure. Think on that, my dear Van Helsing, and you shall see the futility of your situation. Enjoying your meal, Van Helsing? Good.
You're thinking of fattening me up for the final slaughter. Dracula, you've got a lot to learn.
Little matter, Van Helsing. I will eventually win. I have always won my battles.
Maybe not this time, Dracula. The sun will be up soon, and when you go to sleep, not even my broken leg will stop me from slaying you. And if I can't slay you, then I'll kill myself. In such a way, you'll get no blood from me.
My dear, you know as I do that you'll never kill yourself. Not until the final moment you are positive your death would cause my own. Do not try lying to a master liar, woman. It will do you no good.
The brief respite is over. Slowly and painfully, the strange duo press on, advancing against nature's fury and the approach of daylight.
Struggling is useless, Van Helsing. I have only 1 hour more to travel before the sun rises, and I aim to have traveled far in that time.
Then I'll try anything to delay that, Dracula.
What?
Rachel Van Helsing flings herself from the snowbound peak and falls, taking a suddenly off-balanced Dracula down with her.
Witch! Because of you, we might both be doomed.
But Rachel doesn't answer. Down they continue to plunge until the rope snaps taut about the rock, which Rachel tied it to moments before, assuring herself a delay in their travels, but not a deadly one.
You're trying my patience too far. I may yet taste your blood and take my chances alone.
No! I think you'll keep me alive and risk more troubles than have me dead. And perhaps kill yourself as well.
Really, my dear? I doubt that. You see, even if I am dead, one of my legions will find me and resurrect me. Frustrated, dear Van Helsing? I knew you would be. Humans always find it impossible to accept a being who can live forever. Immortality frightens those who fail to understand it completely. Perhaps you should learn what it means to taste eternity on your lips. Would you like that, Van Helsing? Would you like that? Well, worry not this night, my dear. You'll not become a vampire until I can resist the bloodlust no more. No, into this cave. We will spend the morning hours here. There shall be another long night tomorrow, Van Helsing. So plot not to slay me and rest instead. You will need your sleep.
Her body aching with pain, Rachel Van Helsing closes her eyes, but not to sleep. She still has a mission to perform this morning, and she will not rest until the deed is done. All the while through these daylight hours, Dracula sleeps, his strength returning to his weary bones. But Rachel Van Helsing still waits for the moment she will finally slay the dreaded Lord of Vampires. And at long last, that moment is now. Silently she rises, stifling the aching pain she feels grow in her leg. And holding the stake she has kept hidden in her parka since before she began this ill-fated journey, she treads softly towards the sleeping figure. He doesn't move, and with a bitter smile on her lips, she thrusts down and misses.
You foolish female. Did you truly believe you could take Dracula unawares? Now there shall be no rest for you, Van Helsing.
I expect nothing from you, Dracula, except to kill you when I can.
Still you persist, my dear. You waste your time on fantasies, then. Now move, or be dragged through the snow and ice.
Perhaps it's fatigue, bloodthirst, but Dracula does not sense the hulking form which follows his path. Until it is too late, that is.
What?
The great beast attacks. The horde of vampires has been too long without blood. And so it is Dracula who falls to the snow-covered mountains. And it is Dracula who screams as salivating teeth dig through his flesh. Rachel Van Helsing trembles at the sight of the two thrashing forms. And though she fights the urge, her hand almost involuntarily reaches for her gun. And she fires. There is a sudden and horrifying cry. And the great beast falls back dead.
I so desperately wanted it to kill you. I couldn't let it. I just couldn't.
Of course, my dear. You had no other choice.
They're somewhere down there. Pilot, keep flying.
I don't know how much longer we can go, Mr. Drake. The wind's acting up pretty bad.
You'll keep this crate flying until I've found them. Wait, they're down there. And Rachel's walking on her own. Okay, pilot, lower away.
That helicopter. Frank! Frank!
Come back here, woman! The time has finally come for me to taste your blood. Drake will not help you. No, my dear. You shall finally learn the ecstasy of vampirism.
No! You'll never have me, Dracula. Never!
Yes, I shall derive great pleasure from this moment. But no! They're firing wooden bullets at me. I must escape their path. Yes, Van Helsing. Now see if he wants you, or if he'll abandon you to still hunt me.
They're splitting up, Mr. Drake. Should we land or go after the man?
I can't leave Rachel out there to die of exposure. Land the copter, pilot.
A few moments later, and...
Frank, you've got to find him. Kill him.
Calm down, honey. After you've warmed up a bit, we'll discuss it. But now, pilot, head back to Transylvania.
Back to Transylvania, Frank? We can't stop now. This may finally be our chance to destroy Dracula. We can't give up now. We can't.
You've got a definite stubborn streak in you, little lady. Why?
I don't want to bore you, darling.
Consider me a captive audience. Boron.
You know of my grandfather, Abraham Van Helsing, and of his battles with Dracula, and how all believed the vampire had been killed. But he wasn't. Years later, the fiend returned and murdered grandfather. But still, he wasn't done with our family. When I was 9, he killed my parents as I watched helpless in horror. Even as he then moved to slay me...
With your death, young Rachel, the Van Helsing name shall be no more.
His fangs started from my neck.
Hold it, Dracula. Don't even look at the girl. She'll not be your victim tonight.
Quincy Harker, my family's longtime friend, burst through the door and fired his jet-propelled wooden darts from his wheelchair.
So, you've added another new device to your arsenal, eh, Harker? Well, keep the girl for now, old friend, but beware. There will come a time when she will be mine.
When the echo of that cold laughter faded, the reality of what had happened rushed at me.
Come to me, Rachel. You've gone through far too much for a girl your age. Far too much for any person.
Quincy took me into his home, raised me into womanhood. Does that explain why I'm, as you say, so stubborn? Does it, Frank?
There is no answer, nor is there a need for one. But below...
They're gone at last, searching elsewhere on this mountainside. Weak as I am, I must try to make my way to safety, or perish in the attempt to fly. Already I feel my insides shriveling from blood loss. I can remain here no longer. I have no choice but to brave the storm as a night-winged bat. No, its force is too great, too powerful. It is impossible to fly through. Then am I to be trapped in this hellish wasteland forever?
It appears not, as...
What? Pain shooting through me and numbing my arm. How? So Van Helsing and Drake are back, attacking me once more. I must flee before they can attack anew.
For a moment, a wobbling, unsure Dracula hesitates as he stares at the bottomless chasm before him. Then he leaps and plunges ever downward toward his apparently unpreventable destruction.
What? He's gone? But it can't be, it can't. There are no caves for him to hide in.
Any way for him to be hiding in a snowbank, Frank?
Maybe.
Keep searching, Frank. We'll finish him off as soon as we find him.
If we find him, you mean, Rachel? It's that very big if which prevented us from slaying him years ago.
This time he's bound to be finished, Frank. He's weak. Weaker than he's been for years.
I hope you're right, Rachel. But he's managed to survive almost half an eternity. So let's pray this time we didn't muff it. Because if we did, if he's alive, somewhere out there, too bad for us all. Too bad for us all.
theory of glandular stimulation through electrical impulses was correct. A few days ago, you were as small as your companion. And now look at you.
Hello. This is Dr. Carruthers speaking.
Yeah, this is Heath. Henry Maud and I are having a little get-together at my home tonight. We want you to come.
Why, that's nice of you, and I appreciate it. But I'm very busy working on a formula for a new shaving lotion.
Oh, but Doc, this is my daughter's idea. And she's going to be awfully disappointed if you don't show up.
Don't take no for an answer. Make him come.
Yeah, you see, it's a sort of a special occasion.
I bet Mary is going to announce her engagement to that young rascal, Don Morton. Tell her I'll be there. Goodbye.
Well, it's all arranged. He's coming.
He's going to be surprised when he finds the special occasion is to present him with this bonus check.
$5,000.
Good. You have not forgotten. You hate this strange oriental fragrance, even while you sleep. Just as you did before I made you big and strong. Now, if you detect the fragrance in the night, when you're fully awake, you will strike. Yes, you will strike to kill.
Well, the doc isn't coming. What?
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, he just got busy with his new formula and forgot all about us.
He'd forget the formula if he knew about that $5,000 check.
Well, why don't we all go up there and give it to him?
No, I wouldn't do that. He doesn't like visitors when he's experimenting.
Well, Roy can take the check up to him.
Sure, I'll take it.
Shall I make the darkest speech when I give it to him?
You won't have to, Roy. The check speaks for itself.
Yeah, and says a mouthful. Son, tell the doc we're awfully sorry he can't be with us. But of course we understand how busy he is.
All right.
Just a minute, Roy, and I'll be with you. That's it, all right. Now, what can I do for you?
We were all sorry you couldn't be there tonight.
Yes, but you see, I'm busy. Something important, very important.
Yes, of course. Mr. Morton and Dad had planned a little surprise for you.
A surprise?
It's in here.
Well, let's see what it is. $5,000. What's this for?
Just a little token of the firm's appreciation.
Oh, I see. A bonus. Well, it's awfully nice of you, Father and Mr. Morton. I will thank them personally tomorrow.
I'll tell them, Doctor.
Well, aren't you curious about my new formula?
Yes, of course, only I didn't want to be inquisitive. What is it?
A new shaving lotion. Smell it.
Pretty strong, isn't it?
No. The scent evaporates a short time after you've used it. Try a few drops. Now rub it on the tender part of your neck. Here. Soothing, isn't it?
Yes. When will it be ready for the market?
Oh, it's still in the experimental stage. I want to try it out on several people first and see if it works.
Well, if you'd like to send me a bottle, I'll be glad to try it for you.
Thanks.
Good night, Doctor.
Goodbye, Roy. Lovely check, isn't it, Doctor? They are wealthy because of you. You made them rich, Doctor. It was your formula. Tonight they gave you $5,000 and wanted you to come down to their house and thank them for it. That was your money they gave you, like a bone tossed to a faithful dog. You should be very grateful, Doctor. Very grateful. They are rich and happy, thanks to you. And what have you got, Doctor?
Tonight you have work to do. It's time you were on your way.
Tonight's a good time, while our families are here, to announce our engagement.
Look, Don, I've loved you a long time, ever since we were kids. But I'm afraid it's been more like a sister.
Well, I had no idea you felt that way.
call Dr. Carruthers.
Oh, please, hurry.
There's nothing I can do.
You mean he's dead?
Yes, I better call the coroner.
You think it's murder?
I don't know. I never saw anything like it before. The jugular vein is severed.
Send Johnny Layton in here.
Well, what have I done now? Who wants me fired this time?
Nobody yet, but it's still early. This came in from Heathville. It's a mystery killing. Old Martin Heath's son.
Who's Martin Heath?
Who's Martin Heath? Say, have you ever had a date with a girl?
A girl? Oh, yes, a girl. I believe I did take a girl out once.
Well, did she smell sweet?
Of course she smells sweet. Most girls do.
Well, that's because of Martin Heath Cosmetics Limited. They make all that goo that the women put on their faces so they won't have to wash them with soap and water.
I get it. A big man, huh?
Yes, and a big advertising account. Grab yourself a photographer and get along over there to Heathville. The coroner's holding an inquest. Find out who really killed old man Heath's son.
Okay, McGinty, I'm on my way. Chief Wilkins?
Yeah?
I'm Johnny Layton of the Chicago Register.
Glad to see you.
And this is my cameraman, One Shot McGuire.
Hi, Chief.
Howdy.
Say, we're down here to cover that Heath murder, but we didn't get much information at the coroner's inquest. I thought maybe you might be able to help us.
Well, I'm always glad to cooperate with the newspapers, providing they cooperate with me.
That's the policy of our paper.
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't got very far with this thing myself. Oh, here's something that might interest you. It's a picture of the victim's wounds. You'll be able to see it better with this glass.
Are these scratches on the neck and shoulders?
Yes, but we can't determine the source. They're too deep for fingernails, too shallow to have been made by a knife. They're more like claws.
That sort of bears out Dr. Carruthers' theory at the inquest of a wild animal. Have there been any circuses around here lately?
No.
Heard of any animal escaping from a zoo?
No.
Couldn't have been one of those African leopard men. They use steel claws.
This isn't Africa.
Okay, Chief, I was just trying to help.
Chief, are you sure there's no clue you're holding back while investigating?
Well, since you're going to work with me on this case, there is a clue, and a very weird one. The autopsy surgeon says that such wounds could have been made by the beak and talons of a bird.
A bird? Why, there aren't any birds around here big enough to attack a man.
How about an eagle?
We know it wasn't a bird.
How do you know that?
Because we found several hairs on the shoulder of Heath's coat.
Ah, Cherchez la femme.
They're not human hairs.
What kind are they?
Well, it may sound silly, but the laboratory test shows that they were from a mouse.
Say, a bat has hair like a mouse.
Well, the only bats around here are no bigger than sparrows. There was a peculiar odor about the wounds, but they were so faint and elusive that the police chemists have been unable to identify it.
Then it does give us something to work on.
Well, if the scent was a clue, it's been destroyed by evaporation.
Say, Chief, do you mind if I do a little sleuthing around on my own account?
Certainly not. Go ahead. If I can help you any, why...
You can. Miss Heath seems to be the nearest to an eyewitness of the crime. I'd like to have a talk with her. Can you arrange it?
I think I can.
Well, Dr. Carruthers refused to let her speak to us. We tried that this morning at the inquest.
Well, don't you worry about Dr. Carruthers. He's one of the finest men in Heathville. He just thought you'd add to Mary's grief so you could get sensational newspaper stories. I'll arrange an interview.
Thanks, Chief. I'll keep in touch with you.
All right. 48J.
Miss Heath, did your brother have any enemies that you know of?
I know. Everybody in the village liked Roy.
Well, what did he do at the factory?
He had charge of the experimental department where the new products are developed. Oh, here comes Dr. Carruthers. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Mary. I took a shortcut from my laboratory through a garden hedge.
You met Dr. Crothers at the inquest this morning.
Yes. Mr. Layton, I hope you'll forgive me if I seemed a little abrupt. But I'm fond of Mary. And considering the ordeal she already went through, I wanted to protect her from dwelling too much on a tragedy.
Of course. You were quite right.
We're working on the case with the police now.
Yes, I understand. Chief Wilkins phoned me. And if I can be of any assistance, just call on me.
Thanks.
Won't you sit down?
Shall I serve, mademoiselle?
No, Maxine, I'll do it. You may go now.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Do you take sugar, Mr. McGuire?
Huh? Oh, no, ma'am, never. In fact, I don't even take tea. If you'll just deal me out, I'll take a look around. I may dig up a clue.
What do you think of Dr. Crothers' theory about a wild animal, Mr. Layton?
Well, frankly, I don't think much of it.
I can't say that I blame you. But I, as a scientist, take many things into consideration a layman might overlook.
For instance?
The jagged nature of the wound, the rapidity with which the murderer escaped, the scratches from talons or claws.
But when an animal attacks a human, there's bound to be a lot of noise. You heard Miss Heath testify there was no sound of a struggle.
No. Only those awful screams.
It's very puzzling, very mystifying.
Doctor, when you last saw Roy, did he seem worried or nervous or moody?
No, not at all. On the contrary. He was in the best of spirits.
Well, I've got to get back to the village now and follow my story. You'll excuse me?
If you find it necessary for us to talk again, you may come back at any time.
This evening, if it's all right with you. I'd like to spend some time here.
Why, yes, that'll be quite all right.
Thank you. Goodbye, Miss Heath.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
A little more chiffon, baby.
I do not understand.
Oh, you know what I mean. A little more of your stocking.
Like these?
Sure, I like 'em. Who wouldn't? Now, hold nice and still, because this is going to take a little time.
Well, if you're going to shoot, shoot.
Right away, Johnny. I was just trying to get the focus.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. And not bad, either. I'll be back in a minute, Frenchie. And don't worry none about those werewolves, because nothing's going to harm you while I'm around here.
You make Maxine feel so calm. My big, brave journalist.
This is the first time I've ever been invited anywhere and asked not to shave until after I get there.
I wanted to observe your exact reaction when you tried the lotion.
Oh, now I understand.
I want this lotion to be perfect before turning it over to you to be marketed. Here.
It's a little strong. That'll make the customers think they're getting their money's worth. Oh, that feels great. Very soothing.
I don't think you ever use anything else.
Well, we wouldn't want to market anything we wouldn't use ourselves. That almost smells good enough to be used as a cologne. Oh, what's the matter, Doc? Can't you stand your own lotion?
I have a violent dislike for perfumes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, Tommy.
Good night, Doc.
Goodbye, Tommy.
What's that?
Where?
Over there, something's moving.
Come on out of there, whoever you are. What are you doing out here, Miss Heath?
I thought you might want some company. Shall we sit down?
You know, you shouldn't be wandering around in the garden at night after what's happened.
Neither should you.
Well, but it's part of my job.
Mine, too. Roy was my brother. Be careful, I think it's Tommy.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Tommy.
darling.
What's up, sis?
Mr. Layton wanted to stay in the garden for a while, so I joined him.
And don't tell me you're waiting for that animal Dr. Carruthers mentioned.
So you don't believe it either?
I certainly do not. It's ridiculous.
But somebody or something killed your brother.
And I suppose you're working on the theory that the murderer always returns to the scene of the crime.
Perhaps I am.
Well, not for me. If you'll take my advice, Mary, you'll leave these gentlemen to their vigil and go to bed. That's what I'm going to do. Good night.
Good night, Tommy. I don't think your brother likes my being here.
Oh, you mustn't mind Tommy. We're all terribly upset.
I know.
Tommy!
Come on. What I'm telling you, McGinty, it was a bat. I saw it kill Tommy Heath.
Listen, Johnny, I want you and One Shot to come on home or I'll fire both of you.
I'm not coming home, and neither is One Shot. I'm keeping him here to get a picture of the devil bat. Say, that'll look great in the headlines. Devil bat strikes again.
Listen, don't tell me it had horns. Maybe I better send a wagon with the steel bars and the strong boys with the straitjackets.
Look, Joe, have I ever lied to you?
Plenty of times.
Well, I'm not lying this time. If it ever got out that I cooked up a fake story about a devil bat, I wouldn't be able to get a job on a country weekly. Print the story, Joe. So help me, it's on the level.
All right, I'll print it. But I won't believe it. Not till One Shot gets me a picture of that devil bat in action.
Don't worry, he'll get it. Goodbye. You, my friend, are going to get a shot of the devil bat in action.
Who, me? How?
Have you noticed there's a taxidermist shop in the village?
Well, you wouldn't suggest that I go out and stuff a bird, would you?
One Shot. To think that you'd even hint that I would suggest you have the village taxidermist build you a nice big bat for pictorial purposes. Besides, a bat isn't a bird, it's a mammal.
Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Where is this bird stuffing emporium? Oh, down on Cottage Grove Avenue. Now, here's the idea, Frenchie. You hang on to the bat till I get my camera set up. And when I raise my hand, you give the bat a good shove, and it'll swing out just like it's flying. Then I can get a swell picture from my boss. Get it?
Oui. I am wise, no?
No. But hang on to the bat until I raise my hand, huh?
Sherry, are you hurt?
Say, what's the idea of breaking up my devil bat? I'm going to make you pay for that.
And I'm going to take you to jail until you explain this. Come on.
You can't do this to me.
I'm doing it.
Ever smelled anything like this before?
Well, yes. That's the same stuff that's been on every one of the devil bat's victims. Where'd you get it?
Found it in Don Morton's bathroom.
Find out where Morton got it?
No, I didn't want to arouse suspicion by asking questions till after it's been analyzed.
You think it has any connection with the murders?
That's the way it strikes me, but I can't figure out how.
I'll get the police chemist on it right away.
I'll snoop around, see if I can find out where Morton got it.
Well, it probably came from down at the Heath Cosmetic plant. I've men working on a theory of a disgruntled factory employee committing the crimes.
It's certainly more than coincidental that all the victims have been members of the Heath and Morton families.
Yeah. Looks like a plot to wipe them all out.
I wish the rest of them would leave town until this crime is solved.
You're worried about Mary, aren't you?
Well, yes. I've been urging her to leave, but she won't go without her father. And he insists on remaining here to help clear up the crime.
And worse than that, neither Heath nor Morton will let me give them a bodyguard.
I guess we'll just have to wait for something to break. Good night, Chief.
Good night, Johnny.
Boy, have I got a picture that'll knock McGinty dead. Meet the double bat.
Well, how about that wire? Looks as if the bat's on a flying trapeze.
Oh, but I'm not through working on it yet. See, I can touch this picture up so the bat will look like he's got nothing around him but nothing.
This is your news commentator, Walter King. Tonight we're broadcasting from the little village of Heathville, where an alleged devil bat has claimed 3 victims during the past 6 weeks. You will note that I say alleged devil bat. That, ladies and gentlemen, is because your correspondent has been very skeptical from the start as to the existence of this horrendous creature. I have as my guest in the studio tonight Professor Percival Garland Rains, perhaps the world's greatest authority on animal life. I'm going to interview Professor Rains on the subject of the devil bat. Our radio audience may draw its own conclusions. Professor Rains, first let me ask you, point blank, do you believe that any such creature as the devil bat exists?
I do not.
He's got a nerve.
Quiet.
In the dark ages, when men and women lived in caves, there may have existed a bat of this size. But not in this day and age.
How do you account for the fact that Mary Heath, whose 2 brothers were victims of the devil bat, and a newspaper reporter, John Layton, claimed to have seen this amazing creature?
Sometimes under stress of excitement, our minds play tricks on us.
He's insinuating you saw the little bat that wasn't there.
Pipe down. But how about the picture of the devil bat published by Mr. Layton's paper?
I examined that picture under a powerful magnifying glass. I denounce it as a fraud. Whoever constructed the strange-looking monster forgot to remove a label from the silk used on its left wing. That label reads, "Made in Japan."
Put through a hurry call to Heathville. I want to talk to Johnny Layton. He's at the Heathville Hotel.
One guess who that is.
Yeah, McGinty.
Go ahead, pour it on.
So you slipped over a fake picture on me, huh? Well, you're fired, both of you. And I'll see to it that you never work on another newspaper as long as I live. Made in Japan. You tell One-Shot McGuire he ought to be snapping photos in a booby hatch. Both of you, come on in and get your final checks.
Made in Japan. I ought to skin you alive and nail your hide to a barn door.
Here's the chemist report on that shaving lotion.
I see he couldn't break down one of the ingredients.
Yes, he said it must be some element with which he's not familiar.
We won't get anywhere until we identify it.
There's just one other man in this town that might be able to help us. Dr. Carruthers.
Yeah, Carruthers could help us. I found out he compounded that lotion.
Well, if you suspect Carruthers, you're barking up the wrong tree, Johnny. He's the last man in this town that would harm anyone. Why, everybody loves him.
Maybe so. But here's something else I dug up. The Heath and Morton fortunes are based on a greaseless cold cream formula Dr. Carruthers invented.
So what?
All the doctor got out of it was $10,000, and the others made a fortune.
Well, it's common knowledge that he sold out for cash when he could have had an interest in the firm.
Just the same, every victim had this stuff from his laboratory on him.
Maybe you've been working too hard on this case, Johnny.
I'd like to get his reaction on the stuff. If he denies knowing anything about it, we'll know there's a tie-up somewhere.
I think you're balmy. But just to show you that I'm following up every clue, we'll talk to him.
We'll Put this in another bottle, and without telling him we know he compounded it, ask him to analyze it.
Doc, I hope we're not upsetting your work barging in on you this way.
No, no, not at all. I'm anxious to help solve these crimes. All the victims were very dear friends of mine.
Here's a sample of the stuff young Morton and the two Heath boys had on them when they were attacked by the devil bat.
Why, I compounded this myself. It's a new shaving lotion I'm experimenting with. The ingredient your chemist couldn't break down, I discovered years ago in Tibet.
How did you happen to put it in a shaving lotion?
Oh, the lamas use it in some of their religious rites as a perfume. The scent is very pleasant and can't be imitated by competitors.
But what were Don Morton and the two Heath boys doing with the stuff?
Oh, it is the policy of our firm to try out any new product before marketing it.
Well, that knocks our theory into a cocked hat.
Yeah. We were hoping the unknown ingredient might turn out to be some sort of a clue.
This isn't the kind of bottle I give it out in, but I presume your chemist changed it when making the analysis.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do to help?
Tell me, did you hear Professor Raines on the radio last night?
Yes. It was very interesting and very asinine.
You mean you believe there is a devil bat?
Why not? You saw it, didn't you?
Well, sure I did. So did Mary.
Then why worry about what one scientist says?
That one scientist got me fired.
Oh. You mean your newspaper discharged you?
That's right.
Oh, that's too bad. Then you're believing Heathville before the mystery is solved.
I'm afraid not. I'm going to stay here and work with the chief.
Since you're going to stay here for a while, I would like you to try out a bottle of the new lotion and tell me how you like it. And you too, Chief.
No, not me, Doc. If my wife ever smelled perfume on me, she'd suspect me sure.
Well, Mr. Layton, I understand you are not married.
All right, I'll try it in the morning when I shave. I guess we better be going, Chief.
See you later, Doc.
So long, Dr. Crothers.
Goodbye, Mr. Layton.
What time is it?
After midnight.
Midnight? Oh, they ain't no use of waiting around here any longer. This must be the bat's night off.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Get that camera ready.
Skeptical when I came to Heathville today to examine the body of this so-called devil bat. But after seeing it personally and making exhaustive research, I've arrived at the conclusion that the creature is the lone survivor of a type of giant bat which existed in great numbers during the early part of the Neolithic age. Perhaps I should explain for the benefit of some of our listeners that the Neolithic age is that period of antiquity commonly called the Stone Age.
Imbecile, bombastic ignoramus. Splendid. You will be even greater than your unfortunate predecessor. Enraged, aren't you? Fine. I'm enraged also. Tonight I shall call on Henry Morton, and you shall strike him down.
Henry, the lotion has turned out to be better than I had hoped. I want you to try it.
Well, just leave it here, Doc, and I'll try it in the morning after shaving.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yes, but isn't it too strong?
No. Evaporation quickly tones it down just to the right scent. Rub a few drops on your face.
Well, I'd rather wait until after I shave. Then my skin will be more tender and receptive to a lotion.
Just a little here. The texture of the skin there is always very delicate. I give you a few drops in your hand.
I hope you're right about that scent evaporating quickly. I smell the high heavens.
Perhaps that will be the secret of its success.
Well, you can never tell what's going to happen in this business.
You can believe me, Henry. You don't have to worry.
Yes, I can believe that, Doc. All of your formulas have been highly successful. Oh, I've been going over the report of the company's annual earnings. A net profit of over $1 million. Not bad, eh? When you remember what we built on. A mere $10,000 for your formula. You shouldn't have demanded all cash, Doc. You should have ridden along with us. Then you'd be rich, too. But then you've had a lot of fun in your laboratory with your experiments, dreaming up something new. You're a dreamer, Doc. Too much money is bad for dreamers.
So you try to pay me in flattery, telling me that I'm a dreamer.
Well, I do dream. Dreams that you could never guess.
Your nerves are frayed, Doc. Now calm down. Get a grip on yourself. You've been working too hard on your formula.
Formula. That's but child's play for a great scientist. Your brain is too feeble to conceive what I have accomplished in the realm of science.
Doc, you've made some great scientific discovery. What is it?
When you'll find out, Henry, it'll be too late for you.
Oh, come, Doc. You can't pretend to control a man's destiny.
I've already proved it 3 times. I'm sorry. Perhaps you're right, Henry, about my working too hard. I guess I'm a little tired. I better go home and get some rest.
Sure. A night's sleep will do you good. Good night, Doc.
Goodbye, Henry.
.36J.
Hello?
Oh, that's you, Martin?
Yes, Henry.
I want you to call Chief of Police Wilkins to come to your house immediately. It's very important.
Chief's here now.
Well, don't let him leave until I get there.
What on earth's happened?
I think I've got a clue to all those murders. It may peter out, but if half what I suspect is true, it's the most diabolical plot that a madman ever concocted.
What is it?
Talk about the absent-minded professor. I forgot my hat.
Henry, what is it?
I'll tell you all about it when I get there.
I hope I didn't intrude on a private conversation.
No, nothing important.
I hope Henry was right about having a clue. But why didn't he explain more about it when he phoned?
When I insisted, he changed his tone as if he'd been interrupted. I was afraid that he might be overheard. What is that squeaky sound?
Oh, just some night noise.
Help!
I feel much better, Mr. Heath, since you asked us to stay in your home until this new devil bat has been killed. I've been worried about Mary.
What reason have you to believe that Mary is in danger?
Only this. I'm convinced that someone is using the bat to wipe out the entire Heath and Morton families.
As a scientist, I assure you, the thought of a human controlling a bat is fantastic.
Just the same, no villager's been killed or even attacked.
You're forgetting, aren't you, that Mr. McGuire was attacked. He's not a member of either family.
Why, I'm practically a member of this family already. I'm going to marry Miss Heath's maid.
Oh, really? Well, boys, I'll have Maxine show you to your rooms.
I must be running along home. It's past my bedtime. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night,
Good night,
Doctor.
Martin.
Good night,
Good
Doc.
night, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mary.
Come along. Maxine?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Did you fill my perfume bottles with something new?
Oh, no, mademoiselle. I never touch your perfume.
It's funny. I don't recognize it. Perhaps Dad filled them as a surprise. He always does that with every new perfume the plant puts out.
Is there anything else?
No, Maxine, that's all. Good night.
Good night, mademoiselle.
Mary, what happened?
It was trying to get in the window. A big bat. Oh, it was awful.
Mary, I want you to tell me everything you did just before that bat tried to get in.
Well, first I took a bath. Then I brushed my hair, and Maxine came in and turned the covers down. And then fastened the screen, which somehow had come unhooked.
Yeah? Go ahead, what else?
Well, then we talked about some new perfume that someone had put in my dressing table bottles. Dad, did you put any new perfume in my bottles?
No, I didn't.
Is this the stuff?
Yes.
Tony, this smells like...
Hey, quiet. I've got a hunch that I want to follow up, and I'll need everybody's cooperation.
We'll do everything we can.
Of course.
What's Carruthers' number?
48J.
Operator, give me 48J, please. Hello, Dr. Carruthers. This is Johnny Layton. That's right. Something terrible has happened to Mary. Can you hurry over?
I'll be right there.
Good.
Oh, Johnny, I'm all right. I don't need a doctor.
That's where the cooperation part comes in, Mary. You'll have to pretend to be a nervous wreck.
Mr. Heath, you in one shot must help her trick Dr. Carruthers into staying here as long as you can.
Where are you going, Johnny?
To, do a little private bat hunting.
The devil bat tried to get through that window.
If she's suffering from fright, I give her a sedative. Where's Mr. Layton?
Why, I guess he's out in the garden hunting the devil bat.
Layton is a very brave young man. Give Miss Heath one of these every half an hour.
Oui, Doctor.
It will quieten her nerves.
But, Doc, hadn't you better stay until she's quieter?
She'll be all right in the morning.
Hey, Doc, I don't feel so good myself. Would you mind taking my temperature?
You look perfectly well, Mr. McGuire.
Well, you ought to see my tongue. It looks just like a squirrel's tail. Look.
Try some calomel. May have visitors tonight. And it would be dangerous for me if they found you here.
Hi, Doc. I hope I'm not intruding.
No, not at all. I heard you were out stalking the devil bat. Any success?
No, but I thought maybe you might be able to help me.
Well, I don't see how that's possible, but if you can suggest anything...
Well, you could give me some more of that new concoction of yours, that shaving lotion.
But how on earth could that possibly help catch the devil bat?
I've still got a crazy idea that if I douse myself with it, it might attract the killer.
I don't see how you can connect the two. But there is a bottle of the lotion on the table.
Thanks. You see, Doc, I figured out something.
All four of the murdered people had this lotion on them when the devil bat struck. Now, my plan is to sit in the garden, and when the killer makes one of those power dives, I'll blast him.
Layton, I'm afraid all these murders have affected your mind.
Maybe you'd like to come along, Doc, and be an eyewitness.
I'm sure it would be just a waste of time, but I'd be glad to watch your experiment.
Good. I knew I could count on you to help me.
I tell you, Layton, expecting a bat to be attracted by the scent of a lotion is all foolishness. I think I better run around.
Ah, sit down, Doc. The devil bat's behind schedule tonight. You aren't very chummy tonight. What's the matter?
Firearms always make me nervous.
Oh, I thought maybe you didn't want to be sitting too close to me. Just in case the devil bat does show up.
According to your theory, the killer wouldn't attack me. I haven't any of that lotion on me.
You have now, Doc.
Why did you do that?
To make it a 50-50 proposition, Doc. Now sit down, and don't try any shenanigans. Not so funny when it's your own jugular vein that's in danger. Is it, Doc?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe you made a mistake when you let that devil bat of yours out of the attic tonight. Don't worry about the bat killing you. I'm saving you for the hangman. Tell me, Doc, how did you develop a monster bat like that?
You wouldn't understand the scientific theory.
Chief, what are you doing out here?
Young fellow, don't think that you're the only man working on this case. And it was lucky I was here, too.
Thanks. Did you kill the devil bat?
No, he got away.
Well, here's one bird that didn't get away, and he's the murderer we've both been looking for. Quick, shoot it! Where is it?
It's gone.
And so's the doctor.
Did you get the bat?
What happened? Doc Carruthers is the murderer, and he's hiding somewheres in the garden.
You fellas get back to the house and guard Mary. Come on.
Doctor! Dr. Carruthers! Doctor! Has anything happened to Johnny? Is he hurt?
They took him up to my place. You better come along with me.
That was Mary. Are you all right, Mary?
Go help Dr. Carruthers. He's over there.
That devil bat belonged to the doctor, Mary. He created it to commit those murders.
Well, it's too late to help the doc.
Dinner was served for 3 at Dracula's house by the sea. The Wolfman was there, the monster was there. The only normal person there was me. A vampire named Perkins was so very fond of small gherkins. While she served the tea, she ate 43, which pickled her internal workings. Igor, the scalpels go on the left. With the pitchforks, Igor! Igor! What a swimmer is Dracula's daughter, but they use her pool less than they oughter. When her guests dive in there, they just disappear. 'Cause she uses acid, not water. Dracula, old friend, how are things in Transylvania? For dessert, there was cardboard confetti and broom straws from a witch named Betty. I first frowned upon it, but with ketchup on it, it tastes very much like spaghetti. What